OMG.
Welcome everybody. Vandeyaham Shri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaganaf Raganaf Tam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Saha Ganalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha Agyanatimirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasma Shri Guruve Namaha Panchatattvam Makam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Tavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Reading from Sri Mahabharata, Markandeya continued. Do ye again hear from me the glory of the Brahmanas? It is said that a royal sage of the name of Vainya was once engaged in performing the horse sacrifice, and that Atri desired to go to him for alms. But Atri subsequently gave up his desire of wealth from religious scruples. After much thought, he, of great power, became desirous of living in the woods, and calling his wife and sons together, addressed them thus: Let us attain the highly tranquil and complete fruition of our desires. May it therefore be agreeable to you to repair quickly to the forest for a life of great merit. His wife, arguing from the motives of virtue, also then said to him, Hie thee to the illustrious prince, Vainya, and beg of him vast riches. Ask by thee that royal sage engaged in sacrifice will give thee wealth. Having gone there, O regenerate Rishi, and received from him vast wealth, thou canst distribute it among thy sons and servants, and then thou can goest wherever thou pleasest. This, indeed, is the higher virtue, as instant by men conversant with religion. Atri replied, I am informed, O virtuous one, by the high-souled Gotama, that Vainya, a pious prince devoted to the cause of truth. But there are Brahmanas about his persons who are jealous of me. And as Gautam hath told me this, I do not venture to go there. For while there, if I were to advise what is good and calculated to secure piety and the fulfillment of one's desires, they would contradict me with words unproductive of any good. But I approve of any counsel and will go there. Vainya will give me kine and hordes of riches. Kine means cows, bulls. Markandeya continued. So saying, he, of great aesthetic merit, hastened to Vainya's sacrifice, and reaching the sacrificial altar, making his obeisance to the king and praising him with well-meaning speeches, he spoke these words: Blessed art thou, O king, ruling over the earth, thou art the foremost of sovereigns. The moon is praised thee, and besides thee there is none so versed in religious lore. To him the Rishi Gotama, of great aesthetics, merit, then to him the Rishi Gotama, of great aesthetic merit, then indignantly replied, saying, Atri, do not repeat this nonsense. It seems thou art not in the proper senses. In this world of ours, Mahendra, the lord of all created beings alone, is the foremost of all sovereigns. Then, O great prince, Atri said to Gautam, as Indra, the lord of all creatures, ruleth over our destinies, so doth this king. Thou art mistaken. It is thou who hast lost thine senses from want of spiritual perception. Gautam replied, I know I am not mistaken. It is thou who art laboring under a misconception in this matter. To secure the king's countenance, thou art flattering him in this assembly of people, Thou dost not know what the highest virtue is, nor dost thou feel the need for it. Thou art like a child steeped in ignorance. For what then hast thou become? So old in years? Markandeya continued. While those two men were thus disputing in the presence of the Munis, who were engaged in Vaina's sacrifice, the latter inquired, "What is the matter with them that maketh them talk so vociferously?" Then, then the very pious Kasyapa learned in all religious law, approaching the disputants, asked them what was the matter. And then Gautam, addressing that assembly of great Munis, said, "Listen, O great Brahmanas, to the point in dispute between us. Atri have said that Vaina is the ruler of our destinies. Great is our doubt on this point." Markandeya continued. On hearing this, the great mind Munis went instantly to Sanat Kumar, who was well versed in religion, to clear their doubt. And then he, of great aesthetic merit, having heard the particulars from them, addressed them these words full of religious meaning. Sanat Kumar said, "As fire assisted by the wind burneth down forests, so a Brahmana's energy in union with a Kshatriya's, or a Kshatriya's joined with a Brahmana's, destroyeth all enemies. The sovereign is the distinguished giver of laws and the protector of his subjects. He is a protector of created beings, like Indra, a propounder of morals like Sukra, a counselor like Vihashpati, and hence he is also called the ruler of men's destinies. Who does not think it proper to worship the individual of whom such terms as preserver of created beings, royal, emperor, Kshatriya, or savior of the earth, lord of the earth, ruler of men, are applied in praise? The king is also styled the prime cause of social order, as being the promulgator of laws, the virtuous in wars, and therefore the preserver of peace, the watchman, the contended, the Lord, the guide to salvation, the easily victorious, the Vishnu-like, of effective wrath, the winner of battles, and the cherisher of the true religion." The rishis, fearful of sin, entrusted the temporal power to the Kshatriyas. As among the gods in heaven, the sun dispelleth darkness by his effulgence, so doth the king completely root out sin from this earth. Therefore is the king's greatness reduced from the evidences of the sacred books, and we are bound to pronounce for that side which have spoken in favour of the king. Markandeya continued. Then that illustrious prince, highly pleased with the victorious party, joyfully said to Atri, who had praised him erewhile, "O regenerate Rishi, thou hast made and styled me the greatest and most excellent of men here, and compared me to the gods. Therefore shall I give thee vast and various sorts of wealth. My impression is that thou art omniscient. I give thee a well-dressed and well-adorned 100 million of gold coins, and also 10 barras of gold." Then Atri, of high austere virtues and great spiritual powers, thus welcomed by the king, accepted all gifts without any breach of propriety and returned home. And then giving his wealth to his sons and subduing himself, he cheerfully repaired to the forest with the object of performing penances. Markandeya continued. "O thou, conqueror of hostile cities."
Sorry, can I just interrupt you, Dina? Would you mind telling us when it's a new chapter?
Okay, sorry. Yeah, next chapter. Markandeya continued. "O thou, conqueror of hostile cities." In this connection, Saraswati too When interrogated by that intelligent Muni, Tarksha had said this, "Do thou listen to her words." Tarksha had asked, saying, "Excellent lady, what is the best thing for a man to do here below? And how must he act so that he may not deviate from the path of virtue? Tell me all this, O beautiful lady, so that instructed by thee, I may not fall away from the path of virtue. When and how must one offer oblations to the sacred fire? And when must he worship so that virtue may not be compromised? Tell me all this, O excellent lady, so that I may live without any passions, craving, or desire in this world." Markandeya continued, thus questioned by that cheerful Muni, and seeing him eager to learn and endued with high intelligence, Saraswati addressed these pious and beneficial words to the Brahmin, Tarksha. Saraswati said, "He who is engaged in the study of the Vedas, and with sanctity and equanimity perceives the Supreme Godhead in his proper sphere, ascends the celestial regions and attains supreme beatitude of the immortals. Many large, beautiful, pellucid, and sacred lakes are there, bounding with fish, flowers, and golden lilies. There are like shrines, they are like shrines, and their very sight is calculated to assuage grief. Pious men, distinctively worshipped by virtuous, well-adorned, golden-complexioned apsaras, dwell in contentment on the shores of those lakes. He who giveth cows to the Brahmins attaineth the highest regions. By giving bullocks he reacheth the solar regions. By giving cloves he getteth to the lunar world, and by giving gold he attaineth to the state of the immortals. He who giveth a beautiful cow with a fine calf, and which is easily milked, and which doth not run away, is destined to live for as many years in the celestial regions as there are hairs on the body of the animal. He who giveth a fine, strong, powerful young bullock, capable of drawing the plough and bearing burdens, reacheth the regions attained by men who give 10 cows. When a man bestoweth a well-caparisoned Kapila cow with a brazen milk pail, and with money given afterwards, that cow, becoming by its own distinguished qualities a giver of everything, reacheth the side of the man who gave her away. He who giveth away cows reapeth innumerable fruits of his action, measured by the hairs on the body of that animal. He also saveth from perdition in the next world his sons and grandsons, and ancestors to the 7th generation. He who presenteth to a Brahmana sesame made up in the form of a cow, having horns made of gold, with money besides, and a brazen milk pail, subsequently attaineth easily to the regions of the Vasus. By his own acts, man descends into the darksome lower regions, infested by evil spirits of his own passions, like a ship tossed by the storm in the high seas. But the gift of kind to Brahmanas saves him in the next world. He who giveth his daughter in marriage in the Brahma form, who bestoweth gifts of land on Brahmanas, and who duly maketh other presents, attaineth to the regions of Purandara. O Tarksha, the virtuous man who is constant in presenting oblations to the sacred fire for 7 years, sanctifieth his own action 7 generations up and down. Tarksha said, O beautiful lady, explain to me who asked thee the rules for the maintenance of the sacred fire as inculcated in the Vedas. I shall now learn from thee the time-honored rules for perpetually keeping up the sacred fire. Next section. Then Yudhisthira, The son of Pandu said to the Brahmana, Markandeya, do thou now narrate the history of Vaivashvata Manu. Markandeya replied, O king, or foremost of men, there was a powerful and great rishi of the name Manu. He was the son of Vivashvan and was equal unto Brahma in glory. And he far excelled his father and grandfather in strength, in power, in fortune, as also in religious austerities. And standing on one leg, and with uplifted hand, that lord of men did severe penance in the Juyubi forest called Bishala. And there, with head downwards and with steadfast eyes, he practiced the rigid and severe penance for 10,000 years. And one day, while he was practicing austerities, there with wet clothes and matted hair on head, a fish approaching the banks of the Chirini addressed him thus, Worshipful sir, I am a helpless little fish. I am afraid of the large ones. Therefore, do thou, O great devotee, think it worth thy while to protect me from them, especially as this fixed custom is well established amongst us, that the strong fish always preys upon the weak ones. Therefore, do thou think it fit to save me from the being drowned in this sea of terrors? I shall requite thee for thy good offices. On hearing these words from the fish, Vaivashvata Manu was overpowered with pity, and he took out the fish from the water with his own hands. And the fish, which had a body glistening like the rays of the moon when taken out of the water, was put back in an earthen water vessel. And thus reared that fish, O king, grew up in size, and Manu tended to it carefully like a child. And after a long while, it became so large in size, there was no room for it in that vessel. And then seeing Manu one day, it again addressed these words to him, Worshipful sir, do thou appoint some better habitation for me? And then the adorable Manu, the conqueror of hostile cities, took it out of that vessel, and carried it to a large tank and placed it there. And there again the fish grew for many a long year, and although the tank was 2 yojanas in length and 1 yojana in width, even there, O lotus-eyed son of Kunti and ruler of men, was no room for the fish to play about. And beholding Manu, it again said, O pious and adorable father, take me to the Ganga, the favourite spouse of the ocean, so that I may live there, or do as thou listest. O sinless one, I have grown to this great bulk by thy favour. I shall do thy bidding cheerfully. Thus asked, the upright and continent worshipful Manu took the fish to the river Ganga, and he put it into the river with his own hands. And there, O conqueror of thy enemies, the fish again grew for some little time. And then beholding Manu, it said again, O Lord, I am unable to move about in the Ganga on account of my great body. Therefore, worshipful sir, do thou please take me to the sea. O son of Pritha, Manu, then taking it out of the Ganga, carried it to the sea and consigned it there. And despite its great bulk, Manu transported it easily, and its touch and smell were also pleasant to him. And when it was thrown into the sea by Manu, it said these words to him with a smile. O adorable being, thou hast protected me with special care. Do thou now listen to me as to what thou shouldst do in fullness of time. O fortunate and worshipful sir, the dissolution of all this mobile and immobile world is nigh at hand. The time for the purging of this world is now ripe. Therefore, do I now explain what is good for thee. The mobile and immobile divisions of the creation, those that have the power of locomotion, and those that have it not, of all these terrible doom hath now approached. Thou shalt build a strong massive ark and have it furnished with a long rope. On that must thou ascend, O great Muni, with the 7 rishis, and take with thee all different seeds which were enumerated by the regenerate Brahmanas in days of yore, and separately and carefully must thou preserve them therein. And whilst there, O beloved of the Munis, thou shalt wait for me, and I shall appear to thee like a horned animal. And thus, O ascetic, shalt thou recognize me, and I shall now depart. And thou shalt act according to my instructions, for without my assistance thou canst not save thyself from that fearful flood. Then Manu said unto the fish, I do not doubt all that thou hast said, O great one. Even so shall I act. And, giving instructions to each other, they both went away. And Manu then, O great and powerful king and conqueror of thy enemies, procured all the different seeds as directed by the fish, and set sail in an excellent vessel on the surging sea. And then, O Lord of the earth, he bethought himself of that fish. And the fish too, O conqueror of thy enemies and foremost scion of Bharat's race, knowing his mind, appeared there with horns on his head. And then, O tiger of men, beholding in the ocean that horned fish emerging like a rock in the form of which he had been before appraised, he lowered the ropey noose on its head, and fastened by the noose, the fish, O king and conqueror of hostile cities, towed the ark with great force through the salt waters. And it conveyed them in that vessel, roaring, a billowing, beaten sea. And O conqueror of thy enemies and hostile cities, tossed by the tempest on the great ocean, the vessel reeled about like a drunken harlot, and neither land nor the 4 cardinal points of the compass could be distinguished. And there was water everywhere, and the waters covered the heaven and the firmament also. And, O bull of Bharat's race, when the world was thus flooded, none but Manu, the 7 rishis, and the fish could be seen. And, O king, the fish diligently dragged the boat through the flood for many a long year, and then, O descendant of Kuru, an ornament of Bharat's race, it towed the vessel towards the highest peak of the Himavat. And O Bharat, the fish then told those on the vessel to tie it to the peak of the Himavat. And hearing the words of the fish, they immediately tied the boat on that peak of the mountain. And, O son of Kunti, an ornament of Bharat's race, know that that high peak of the Himavat is still called by the name of No Bandhana, or the harbour. Then the fish, addressing the associated rishis, told them these words, I am Brahma, the Lord of all creatures. There is none greater than myself. Assuming the shape of a fish, I have saved you from this cataclysm. Manu will create again all beings, gods, asuras, and men, all those divisions of creation, which have the power of locomotion and which have it not. By practicing severe austerities, he will acquire this power, and with my blessing, illusion will have no power over him. So saying, the fish vanished instantly, and Vaivashvata Manu himself became desirous of creating the world. In this work of creation, illusion overtook him, and he, therefore, practiced great asceticism. And endowed with great aesthetic merit, Manu, O ornament of Bharat's race, again set out about his work of creating all beings in proper, exact order. This story, which I have narrated to thee, and the hearing of which destroyeth all sin, is celebrated as the legend of the fish. And the man who listened every day to this primeval history of Manu attaineth happiness, and all other objects of desire goeth to heaven. So I'll pause there, I think. Let someone read for the next section.
I think, Madan, it's your time now, Madan.
All right, okay. I'm ready.
That was great. That was really good.
Superb.
I love your kind of northern accent. It's really suited that.
Yeah.
It was.
There was one interesting thing there that wasn't in that edition was when the fish Matsya moored it to the Himavat.
Yeah.
In a smiling and soft tone, it told the rishis. And also in the Bhagavat, he's not Manu until after this. Before that, he's called Satyavrata.
Oh, Satyavrata Muni.
Not the same as the author of Dhammagrastika. No.
Okay.
And then he becomes Manu after this event. And
Then
he's the current Manu. He's the Manu now.
Right. Vaishvata Manu. Wow.
It's a very Noah's Ark type of story.
Totally.
Definitely.
And the interesting thing is, because when you go to the border of Iran and Turkey, you get Mount Ararat. Now, according to legends, the biblical people, they reckon that Noah's Ark was ended up on that mountain. And so when you're describing that mountain and the thingy,
yeah, but that's just because they found the remnants of an old big boat.
Is it? I don't even know what the story is.
It's not a historic. It's just because there's a mountain and there's a boat on top of it.
Okay, well, there you
go. That's all you need.
You just got to join the dots together.
All right. So I'll read. So it's nearly 7:45. So I'll read to after 8.
After 8. Nothing like a good old after 8.
So in this edition, we're on chapter 483. Okay. Episode 186, page
Turn off your video, Dina.
What?
Dina, could you turn off your video?
Okay. So, Vaishampayana said, with humility, Dharmaraja Yudhishthira again asked the famous Markandeya, O great sage, you have witnessed the end of many thousands of eras. No one is known who has lived for as long as you, except for the great soul Brahma, Parameshti. O Brahmana, you worshipped Brahma at the time of the destruction, when there was no sky in this world and no gods and Danavas. O Brahmana Rishi, when that destruction is over and the grandfather arises again, you are the only one who witnesses the 4 types of beings being exactly created by Parameshti after he had filled the directions with air and has dispersed the waters. O foremost among Brahmanas, you have worshipped the preceptor of the world himself, the grandfather of all the worlds, with supreme meditation. O Brahmana Rishi, therefore, through Parameshti's grace, death, the destroyer of everything, and old age, the destroyer of the body, do not overcome you. When there is no sun and fire, no wind and moon, nothing is left of the sky and the earth, when the world with its mobile and immobile objects becomes one large ocean, when the masses of gods and asuras are destroyed and the great serpents uprooted, when the one with the infinite soul is on the lotus and finds his abode on the lotus, you alone are there to worship Brahma, the Lord of all beings. O supreme among Brahmanas, everything that has happened before has been seen by you. Therefore, we wish to hear the account about the reasons behind everything. O supreme among Brahmanas, you have experienced these many times. There is nothing in all the worlds that is not always known to you. Markandeya replied, I will recount this. I bow down before the one who creates himself and the ancient and eternal being without decay, Janardana, whose eyes are long and wide and who is attired in yellow. He is the creator and special creator of all beings that are manifest. He cannot be thought of. He is a great wonder. He is supreme purification. He is without beginning and without end. He is the imperishable being that is everywhere in the universe. He is without decay. He is the creator, but he is not created. He is the reason behind all energy. He is the being whom even the gods do not know. O tiger among men, in the beginning, after the destruction of the universe, there was Krita Yuga. It is said that this lasts for 4,000 years. It is preceded by a sandhya of 400 years and succeeded by a sandhya of the same duration. Treta Yuga is said to last for 3,000 years. It is preceded by a sandhya and succeeded by another sandhya of 300 years each. After that, Dwapara Yuga has a measure of 2,000 years. It is preceded by a sandhya and followed by a sandhya of 200 years each. The learned have said that Kali Yuga lasts for 1,000 years. These are, of course, celestial years. We all know, according to human years, it's a lot longer. It is preceded by a sandhya and succeeded by a sandhya of 100 years each. Know that the duration of the preceding sandhya and the succeeding sandhya is the same. Sandhya is the junction between the ages. When Kali Yuga has decayed, Krita Yuga returns again. This total period of 12,000 years is known as a yuga. 1,000 such cycles are known as one of Brahma's days. O tiger among men, when the entire universe retreats into Brahma's abode, the wise ones know this as the destruction of the worlds. O bull among the Bharata lineage, when there is little time of 1,000 years left at the end of a yuga, all men usually become the speakers of falsehood. O Partha, they perform sacrifices through representatives. They donate through representatives. When such a time arrives, vows are observed through representatives. The Brahmanas perform the tasks of Sudras. Sudras become the earners of wealth and resort to the dharma of Kshatriyas. This is what occurs when the Yuga decays. When Kali Yuga arrives, Brahmanas abstain from sacrifices and studying. They discard the offering of oblations to ancestors. They resort to eating anything. O son, Brahmanas no longer meditate, and Sudras become addicted to meditation. O Lord of men, when the earlier form of the world decays, everything is perverse. There are many mlecha kings. They rule on the basis of falsehood and evil. They resort to false promises. O supreme among men, Andhras, Shakas, Pulindas, and Yavanas become kings, and Kambojas, Ornikas, Sudras, and Abhiras. Not a single Brahmana makes a living from his own dharma then. O Lord of men, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas also do what they should not do. Men are limited in life expectancy and feeble in strength. They are weak in energy and valor. They have little substance and their bodies are weak. They rarely speak the truth. The country is generally empty and the directions are infested with animals and predators. When the end of the Yuga is at hand, learning about the Brahman is futile. The Sudras address as Bo and the Brahmins address as Arya. O tiger among men, at the end of the Yuga, there are many animals. O Lord of the earth, everything that is fragrant no longer possesses any smell then. O tiger among men, what is succulent is no longer fit to be eaten then. There are many children, short in stature, devoid of good conduct. O king, when the destruction of the Yuga is near, women use their mouths as their vaginas. The country is dotted with towers. The crossroads are infested with jackals. O king, at the time of the destruction of a Yuga, the women are covered with hair. O Lord of men, the cows then yield very little milk. The trees yield very little of flowers and fruit and are full of crows. O Lord of the earth, Brahmanas accept gifts from kings who are guilty of killing Brahmanas and are the makers of false accusations. The Brahmanas are overcome by avarice and delusion. They falsely invoke their own dharma. O Lord of the earth, they roam the land in search of alms. Fearful of the burden of taxation, householders become robbers. Others assume the disguise of hermits, but earn a living from trade. Men then bear nails and hair under false pretenses. Oh, Ty, do you want a footnote for that one? Fraudulently pretending to be hermits. O tiger among men, those practicing brahmacharya become greedy for riches. They observe evil conduct in hermitages and are addicted to drinking. They unite with the wives of their preceptors. They pander to the desires of this world, nourishing their flesh and blood. O tiger among men, when the destruction of the Yuga is near, hermitages are infested with many evil characters who have the quality of living off the food of others. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, the illustrious chastiser of Paka, Indra, no longer showers rain at the right time. All the seeds that are sown no longer sprout. O unblemished one, the fruits of not following dharma become manifold. O protector of the earth, he who is united with dharma only has a short span of life. There is no dharma left then. O tiger among men, people generally sell goods with false weights. There is a lot of deceit associated with trade. People who are devoted to dharma decay. The evil ones prosper. Dharma loses its strength, and that which is not dharma becomes powerful. Men who are devoted to dharma have short spans of life and are poor. At the time of the destruction of the Yuga, those who are against dharma have long spans of life and are prosperous. Subjects seek to attain their objectives by resorting to that which is not dharma. Having accumulated only a little, they become insolent. O king, having become addicted to deceit, men generally rob riches that have been placed with them in trust. Predators that live off men, birds, and animals roam around in parks and sanctuaries in cities. O king, women conceive at ages of 7 years and 8. Men who are 10 and 12 years of age beget sons. When they are 16 years old, men become aged, and a man's lifespan is swiftly over. O great king, at the end of the Yuga, young ones act like the old. The conduct that should be seen in the young is seen in the old. Women exhibit perverse conduct and deceive their husbands. These lascivious ones pleasure with servants and even animals. O great king, at the end of those 1,000 yugas, when life decays, there is a drought for many years. O Lord of the earth, because beings have weak lives and are starving, they die in large numbers on the surface of the earth. O Lord of men, 7 blazing suns appear then. They drink up all the waters from the oceans and the rivers. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, O bull among the Bharata lineage, everything is then reduced to ashes, be it of wood or grass, dry or wet. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, then the fire of destruction arrives, together with the wind, in a world that has already been dried up by the suns. It penetrates the earth and goes all the way to the nether regions, generating great terror among the gods, the Danavas and the Yakshas. It burns down the world of the Nagas and whatever can be found on earth. O protector of the earth, it burns down everything in an instant. 20 yojanas at a time, that fire of destruction, helped by the inauspicious wind, consumes everything in hundreds and thousands, with all the gods, asuras, gandharvas, yakshas, serpents, and rakshasas. That blazing Lord burns up the entire universe. Then large clouds, extraordinary to see, arise in the sky. They are like herds of elephants, adorned with garlands of lightning. Some are dark, like blue lotuses. Others are like white lotuses. Some are like filaments. Other clouds are yellow. Still others have the complexion of a raven's egg. Some have the color of lotus leaves. Others have the complexion of vermilion. Some have the shapes of large cities. Others are like herds of elephants. Some are like collyrium. Others have the shape of crocodiles. The dense clouds are adorned with garlands of lightning. O great king, they are terrible in form and utter a terrible roar. Full of rain, they cover up the entire sky. O great king, they cover up the earth with all its mountains, forests, and mines. They fill and flood it with water. O bull among men, instructed by Parameshti, those clouds with a terrible roar flood everything. The copious quantities of water fill up the earth. They extinguish the extremely terrible and inauspicious fire. The clouds generate a flood for 12 years. Instructed by the great souled one, the rains fill everything. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, the ocean flows over its tide line. The mountains are splintered. In particular, the earth is also shattered. Then swift winds suddenly whirl the clouds in the sky, and that gust tears them up. O Lord of men, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, the self-creating original God drinks up these terrible winds and continues to sleep on his lotus bed. In that terrible ocean, everything is destroyed, mobile and immobile. The gods, the masses of asuras, the yakshas, and the rakshasas are destroyed. O protector of the earth, there are no men, no animals, and no trees. There is no firmament in this world. I alone wander around anxiously. O supreme among kings, once, when I roamed around in this terrible ocean of water, I was filled with great affliction at not seeing any being. O Lord of men, I had floated around for a long time in this flood. I was exhausted, but I continued uninterrupted, since I could not find a place to rest. O Lord of earth, then, in that great flood of water, I saw an extremely tall and wide banyan tree. O Lord of men, the branches of that tree were extensive. O protector of the earth, O great king, there on the bed adorned with celestial spreads I saw seated a child. His face was like a lotus or the moon. His eyes were as large as a blooming lotus. O protector of the earth, I was struck with great wonder. How could this child be lying there when the entire world has been destroyed? O Lord of men, through the power of austerities, I can reflect upon the past, the present, and the future. But I could not fathom this child. He had the complexion of an Atasi flower, flax. He bore the Srivatsa mark. This seemed to me to be the abode of Lakshmi herself. The radiant child with eyes like lotus and bearing the Srivatsa mark spoke to me in words that were pleasant to hear. O son, I know that you are exhausted and desire to rest. O Markandeya, O Bhargava, rest here for as long as you wish. O supreme among sages, enter my body, rest here. That is the place that has been earmarked for you because of my favors. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, thus addressed by the child, I lost all interest in my long life and human state. Then that child suddenly opened his mouth wide. Propelled by destiny, I powerlessly entered his mouth. O Lord of men, O descendant of the Bharata lineage, O tiger among men, thus suddenly entering inside of his mouth, I saw the entire earth covered with all its kingdoms and cities, the rivers Ganga, Shatadru, Shita, Yamuna, Kaushiki, Charmanvati, Vetravati, Chandrabhaga, Saraswati, Sindhu, Vipasha, Godavari, Vasokashara, Nalini, Narmada, the rivers Tamra and Vena, with pure waters that bring fortune. Suvena, Krishnavena, Irama, Mahanadi, Shona, Visalya, and Kampuna. O supreme among men, I saw many other rivers that flow on earth. I wandered around inside that great souled one. I saw oceans infested with aquatic animals. I saw that supreme abode of the waters, a storehouse of gems. I saw the sky there, illuminated with the moon and the sun. It blazed with energy like the fire and the sun. O king, I saw the earth, beautifully adorned with its forests. O king, the Brahmanas were engaged in many sacrifices. The Kshatriyas were engaged in ensuring the welfare of all the Varnas. O Lord of men, the Vaishyas were engaged in agriculture. The Sudras were always engaged in the servitude of the Brahmanas. O king, then, wandering around inside the great souled one, I saw the Himalayas and Mount Hemakuta. I saw Nishada and Shweta adorned with silver. O protector of the earth, O tiger among men, I saw Mount Gandhamadana and the great mountains Mandara and Nila. O great king, I saw the golden Mount Meru. I saw Mahendra and Vindhya, supreme among mountains. I saw Malaya and Mount Pariyatra. I saw many other mountains too. I saw all these inside his stomach, adorned with jewels. O Lord of men, O Lord of the earth, I saw lions, tigers, boars, and serpents, and all other beings that populate the earth. I saw all these as I was roaming around there. O tiger among men, having entered the inside and wandering around in various directions, I saw the masses of gods headed by Shakra, the Gandharvas, the Apsaras, the Yakshas, and the Rishis. O Lord of men, there were the Daityas, the Danavas, and collections of Kalayas, the sons of Simhika, and other enemies of the gods. Whatever could be seen in the world, mobile or immobile, everything could be seen inside the great-souled one. Surviving on fruits, I roamed around in this entire universe inside his body for more than 1,100 years. O Lord of the earth, but while I constantly roamed around and thought, nowhere could I see an end to the body. O King, not being able to find an end to the great-souled one, following the prescribed rites, I sought refuge in both thought and deeds with this great-souled one, the granter of boons and worthy among gods. O King, O supreme among men, then suddenly a gust of wind expelled me from the mouth of the great-souled one, the mouth having been opened wide. O Lord of the earth, O tiger among men, then seated on the branch of the banyan tree, I saw the one who had swallowed up the universe. He was in the form of a child with the Srivatsa mark. O tiger among men, I saw the infinitely energetic one seated there. The immensely radiant one blazed in his yellow attire, bearing the Srivatsa mark. He smiled and gently addressed me. O Markandeya, O supreme among sages, tell me, have you rested while you have been residing inside my body? Instantly, I seemed to acquire a new insight. I saw myself with a new consciousness, free from the confines of the soul. O son, the soles of his well-established feet were coppery red. They were delicate and adorned with soft and red toes. I grasped them, placed them reverentially on my head, and worshipped him. I had seen the limitless powers of that infinitely energetic one. Humbly, I joined my hands in salutation and carefully approached him. I saw the lotus-eyed God, who was the soul of all beings. Bowing before him with hands joined in salutation, I said, "O God, I wish to know about you and about your supreme Maya. O illustrious one, having entered your body through your mouth, I saw all the worlds gathered in your stomach. O God, the gods, the Danavas, the Rakshasas, the Yakshas, the Gandharvas, and the Nagas, and all the mobile and immobile objects in the universe were inside your body. O God, though I ran and continuously roamed around inside your body through your favors, my memory never failed me. O Pundarikaksha, O unblemished one, I wish to know why you have established yourself in the form of a child. Why have you swallowed up the entire universe? You should explain this to me. O unblemished one, O destroyer of enemies, for what purpose is everything in the universe inside your body? For how long will you be established here? O Lord of the gods, I wish to hear this. It is a Brahmana's desire. O lotus-eyed one, tell me everything in detail. O Lord, what I have seen is greatly beyond my comprehension. Having been thus addressed by me, the handsome god of the gods, immensely radiant, supreme among eloquent ones, comforted me and spoke these words to me.
Why does Kanai want to read? I mean, did you
Yeah,
finish? Kanai?
Kanai, you there?
Kanai. I said it wrong. It's not Kanai, it's Kanai.
Yeah, like Kanaya Lal. Where are you, Kanai? Where
Unlike Khan. When you say Khan.
Khan? Khan, yeah.
Well, where is he?
I don't know.
Oh,
Why don't you read Matura
okay.
then?
I'm just munching on something. Okay, quickly. Okay, wait a minute. Okay.
I'll
Well,
mute myself and
it's one of the
disappear.
most psychedelic stories ever.
Isn't it? Isn't
I
it?
mean, it's just
What can you say?
it's so bizarre, isn't it, as well? Because it's almost like Krishna is Krishna. In Bulma Leela, but suddenly he's involved in cosmic Leela.
Yeah,
It's like, wow, how did that happen? It's like a mystery, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
Because it doesn't happen really again in the Bhagavad, where Krishna, little boy, who's part of his Krishna Bulma Leela, suddenly
yeah,
appears in the middle of a big
yeah.
cosmic scene. It's like,
Well, this is also in the Bhagavad. It's almost right at the end of the 12th canto, but not to such detail as this.
I've got
Anyway,
I've
carry
got
on.
okay, I'm not 1 minute. Give me a second. I'm not quite. I wasn't. I thought Kanai was going to read it for some reason. What page are we on? I wasn't following the book page. I was listening. Where are we? I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Page 310, chapter 484.
Okay. Let me just turn that light up. Very much. No, that's not right.
Matura, what are you doing?
I've got all the lighting's not right. I've got to set it up. Otherwise it's all not looking good. I've got to
Okay.
adjust it. It's all a bit weird. What's that noise?
Nothing.
Okay. Still not what right. Sorry, I haven't got it quite set up right. I was lost in listening. I wasn't planning. 1 second. I don't like that light at the minute. Sorry about this delay. That's better. That's it. Sorry, I've got the best better positioning now. Carrying on the Mahabharata, Markandeya Samasya Parva, 484187. The god said, O Brahmana, it is certain that the gods do not know me as I really am. But I am pleased with you, and I will tell you how I create. O Brahmana Rishi, you are devoted to your ancestors, and you have sought refuge with me. That is the reason you have seen me in person. Your brahmacharya is also great. The waters are known as Nara, and I consciously gave them that name because the waters are always my abode. I am known by the name of Narayana. O supreme among Brahmanas, I am known by the name of Narayana. My powers are eternal and undecaying. I am the creator and the destroyer of all beings. I am Vishnu. I am Brahma. I am Shakra, the lords of the gods. I am King Vaishravana. I am Yama, the lord of the dead. I am Shiva. I am Soma. I am Kashyapa Prajapati. O supreme among Brahmanas, I am the creator and the special creator. I am the sacrifice. The fire is my mouth, the earth is my feet, the sun and the moon are my eyes. The directions in the sky are my body. The wind is established in my mind. I have performed many hundreds of sacrifices in which large numbers of gifts have been given. I am the sacrifices performed by those learned in the Vedas. I am present in the sacrifices of the gods. On earth, the lords and kings of the Kshatriyas, desirous of attaining heaven, sacrifice to me. The Vaishyas, desirous of attaining heaven, also sacrifice to me. I become Sesha and hold up this earth full of riches, bounded by the four seas and adorned by Meru and Mandara. In earlier times, in the form of a boar, I used my valor to raise up the earth when it was immersed in the water. O Brahmana, O supreme among Brahmanas, as the Vadava fire, I drink up the turbulent waters and disgorge them again. Through my valour, in due order, the Brahmanas emerged from my mouth, the Kshatriyas from my arms, the Vaishyas from my thighs, and the Shudras from my feet. The Rig Veda, the Samaveda, the Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda issued from me and returned to me. Ascetics desire supreme tranquility. They wish to control their souls. They are free from desire, anger, and hatred. They are without attachment and have overcome sin. They are pure without pride. They are always learned about matters concerning the soul. These Brahmanas always meditate on me. They worship me. I am the light of destruction. I am Yama, the destroyer. I am the son of destruction. I am the wind of destruction. O supreme among Brahmanas, know that the forms that can be seen in the sky in the form of stars are manifestations of me. So are the oceans, the storehouses of jewels, and the four directions. Know them to be my garments, my beds, my abodes. O virtuous one, desire, anger, happiness, fear, and delusion, know them to be different forms of me. O Brahmana, so are whatever is obtained by men through performing good deeds. Truth, speaking the truth, performing austerities, and observing non-violence towards creatures. It is my rules that determine all beings who live in bodies. They do not act in accordance with their desires, but their minds are guided by me. There are Brahmanas who have properly studied the Vedas. They perform different kinds of sacrifices. They pacify their souls and control their anger. They earn merits. O learned one, these are incapable of being earned by men who perform evil deeds and are overcome by greed. Men who are mean, inferior, and not control of their souls, know that I am the greatest reward that righteous men strive for. This is the path chosen by those who resort to yoga, but is impossible for ignorant ones to achieve. O learned one, whenever Dharma goes into decline and Adharma raises its head, then I create myself. Whenever Daityas, addicted to the violence and incapable of being killed by the supreme among the gods, and terrible Rakshasas are created in this world, then I am born in the houses of those who perform good deeds. I assume a human form and pacify everything. I create gods, humans, Gandharvas, serpents, Rakshasas, and mobile and immobile objects. Then I destroy them with my Maya. When the time arrives for acting, I think again about a body and create myself. Assuming a human form, I ensure that the boundaries are maintained. My complexion is white in Krita Yuga, yellow in Treta Yuga, and red now in Dwapara Yuga. It is black in Kali Yuga. At that time, Adharma accounts for 3/4. When that period of destruction arrives, I assume the terrible form of time and myself destroy the three worlds. With their mobile and immobile objects, I am the one with three strides. I am the soul of the universe. I bring happiness to all the worlds. I am the Lord. I go everywhere. I am Rishikesh, whose stride is expansive. O Brahmana, I am the one who moves the wheel of time. I am without form. I am the one who pacifies all beings. I am the endeavour behind the tasks of all the worlds. O supreme among sages, thus my soul pervades all beings. O Indra among Brahmanas, but no one knows me. O Brahmana, O unblemished one, whatever pain you have encountered while inside me, all of that is for your happiness and welfare. O supreme among sages, whatever you have seen of the worlds, mobile and immobile, all of those have been ordained by my soul. The grandfather of all the worlds is half of my body. I am the one known as Narayana. I hold the conch shell, the chakra, and the mace. O Brahmana Rishi, throughout the cycle of 1,000 yugas, I, the soul of the universe and the grandfather of all the worlds, sleep. O supreme among sages, throughout that period, I am established here, not as a child, but in the form of a child, until Brahma wakes up. Okay, let's say that again. O Brahmana Rishi, throughout the cycle of 1,000 yugas, I, the soul of the universe and grandfather of all the worlds, sleep. O supreme among sages, throughout that period I am established here, not a child, but in the form of a child until Brahma wakes up. Aha. O Brahmana, it is I who granted you boons in the form of Brahma. You were worshipped by masses of Brahmana rishis, and I am satisfied with you. On seeing everything mobile and immobile, flooded in a single ocean, you were afflicted. Knowing this, I showed you the universe when you entered my body. On seeing all the worlds there, you were astounded and did not understand. O Brahmana Rishi, therefore I brought you out through my mouth and told you everything about myself, incomprehensible to gods and demons. O Brahmana Rishi, until the immensely ascetic and illustrious Brahma awakes, comfortably rest and roam here. O supreme among Brahmanas, when the grandfather of all the world awakes, as if they are but one, I will create from my body the sky, the earth, light, wind, and water, and whatever else exists in the world, mobile and immobile. Markandeya said, O son, after he had spoken thus, the extremely wonderful god disappeared. I then saw the creation of subjects, varied and manifold. O king, best of the Bharata lineage, O best among all those who uphold Dharma, at the end of the Yuga, I witnessed all these wonderful things. O tiger among men, the lotus-eyed god whom I saw in earlier times has now become your relative, Janardana. O Kunteya, because of the boon he bestowed on me, my memory has not failed me. I have a long life and I can die when I wish. He is the Lord Krishna Varshnaya, the ancient being. He is the mighty-armed Hari who cannot be thought of and who seems to be sporting. He is Satvata, the creator and the special creator and destroyer. He's Govinda with the Srivatsamat, the universal lord of all Prajapatis. On seeing this tiger of the Vrishni lineage, the original being Vishnu, who has no birth and who is dressed in yellow garb, my memory has returned to me. Madhava is the father and the mother of all beings. O bulls among the Kaurava lineage, seek refuge with the one who grants protection. I'm ready to finish now. Is Kanai there?
I don't know. I tried to phone him.
Maybe he's fallen asleep. Does
Roger's here.
Yeah, Braja, be great. Braja, do you want to read Tarini or
in
Tarini?
a few minutes.
Let someone else have a go first. He's not quite ready. But I was just going to say, because we got to remember that Krishna is actually here in this concourse of people, so he's listening. to Markandeya as well.
Hmm.
Krishna.
He's there. He's there.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, shall I just carry on then until
What about Mark? He hasn't had a go.
Yeah, Mark, you ready? Do you want to come read? Everyone's having a cup of tea, aren't they? Having a bit of a nibble
Who's that?
on their
Yes,
road.
hello. Okay.
Okay.
I've got it.
Mark, you have to get in the middle.
Hold on a minute. Oh, I've got to do this bloody thing. Right, okay. Right.
There you go.
Narayana ki jai, Saraswati ki jai. Hare Krishna. Okay. Vaishampayana said, Yudhishthira, the son of Kunti, once more asked the great Muni Markandeya about the future course of the government of the earth. And Yudhishthira said, O thou foremost of all speakers, O Muni of Brigu's race, that which we have heard from thee about the destruction and rebirth of all things at the end of the Yuga is indeed full of wonder. I am filled with curiosity, however, in respect of what may happen in the Kali age, when morality and virtue will be at an end. What will remain there? What will be the prowess of men in that age? What their food and what their amusements? What will be the period of life at the end of the Yuga? What also is the limit, having attained which the Krita age will begin anew? Tell me all in detail, O Muni, for all that thou narratest is varied and delightful. Thus addressed, that foremost of Munis began his discourse again, delighting the tiger of the Vrishni race and the sons of Pandu as well. And Markandeya said, Listen, O monarch, to all that have been seen and heard by me, and to all, O King of Kings, that have been known to me by intuition from the grace of the God of gods. O bull of the Bharata race, listen to me as I narrate the future history of the world during the sinful age. O bull of the Bharata race, in the Krita age, everything was free from deceit and guile and avarice and covetousness, and morality, like a bull, was among men with all four legs complete. In the Treta age, sin took away one of these legs, and morality had three legs. In the Dwarapara, sin and morality are mixed half and half, and accordingly, morality is said to have two legs only. In the dark age of Kali, O thou best of Bharata race, morality mixed with 3 parts of sin liveth by the side of men. Accordingly, morality then is said to wait on men with only a 4th part of itself remaining. Know, O Yudhishthir, that the period of life, the energy, intellect, and the physical strength of men decrease in every yuga. O Pandava, the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and Vaishyas and Sudras in the Kali age will practice morality and virtue deceitfully, and men in general will deceive their fellows by spreading the net of virtue. And men with false reputation of learning will, by their acts, cause truth to be contracted and concealed. And in consequence of the shortness of their lives, they will not be able to acquire much knowledge. And in consequence of the littleness of their knowledge, they will have no wisdom. And for this, covetousness and avarice will overwhelm them all. And wedded to avarice and wrath and ignorance and lust, men will entertain animosities towards one another, desiring to take one another's lives. And Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, with their virtue contracted and divested of asceticism and truth, will all be reduced to an equality with the Sudras. And the lowest orders of men will rise to the position of the intermediate ones, and those in intermediate stations will, without doubt, descend to the level of the lowest ones. Even such, O Yudhishthir, will become the state of the world at the end of the Yuga. Of robes, those will be regarded the best that are made of flax and of grain. The paspalum frumentaceae, which is a little footnote, the word in the text is kora dushakas, supposed by Wilson to be the paspalum frumentaceae. Vide Dix, you got to look at the dictionary. Anyway, there we are. Okay, we can look that up at some point. So the I'm going to go that sentence again. Even such, O Yudhisthira, will become the state of the world at the end of the Yuga. Of robes, those will be regarded as best that are made of flax, and of grain, the Pashpulam frumentaceae will be regarded as the best. Towards this period, men will regard their wives as their only friends, and men will live on fish and milk, goats and sheep, for cows will be extinct. And towards that period, even they that are always observant of vows will become covetous and opposed to one another. Men will at such time seek another's lives, and divested of yuga, I think that might mean yoga. Divested of yoga, people will become atheists and thieves, and they will even dig the banks of streams with their spades and sow grains thereon. Even those places will prove barren for them at such a time. And those men who are devoted to ceremonial rites in honor of the deceased and of the gods will be avaricious, and will also appropriate and enjoy what belongs to others. The father will enjoy what belongs to the son, and the son what belongs to the father. And those things will also be enjoyed by men in such times, the enjoyment of which has been forbidden in the scriptures. And the Brahmanas, speaking disrespectfully of the Vedas, will not practice vows, and their understanding clouded by the science of disputation. They will no longer perform sacrifices and the Homa. And deceived by the false science of reasons, they will direct their hearts towards everything mean and low, and men will till low lands for cultivation, and employ cows and calves that are 1 year old in drawing the plough and carrying burdens. And sons having slain their sires, and sires having slain their sons, will incur no opprobrium. They will frequently save themselves from anxiety by such deeds, and even glory in them. And the whole world will be filled with mlecha behavior, and notions and ceremonies and sacrifices will cease, and joy will be nowhere, and general rejoicing will disappear. And men will rob the possession of helpless persons, of those that are friendless, and of wisdoms also. And possessed of small energy and strength, without knowledge, and given to avarice and folly and sinful practices, men will accept with joy the gifts made by wicked people with words of contempt. And, O son of Kunti, the kings of the earth, with hearts wedded to sin, without knowledge, and always boastful of their wisdom, will challenge one another from desire of taking one another's life. And the Kshatriyas also, towards the end of such periods, will become the thorns of the earth, and filled with avarice and swelling with pride and vanity, and unable and unwilling to protect their subjects, they will take pleasure in inflicting punishments only, and attacking and repeating their attacks upon the good and the honest, and feeling no pity for the latter, even when they will cry in grief. The Kshatriyas will, O Bharata, rob these of their wives and wealth, and no one will ask for a girl for purposes of marriage, and no one will give away a girl for such purposes, but the girls will themselves choose their lords when the end of the Yuga comes. And the kings of the earth, with souls steeped in ignorance and discontented with what they have, will at such time rob their subjects by every means in their power, and without doubt the whole world will be mlechified. There's a little footnote there. The word in the text is mlechibudkam. The Sanskrit grammar affords a great facility for the formation of verbs from substantives. Mlechify may be hybrid, but incorrect. But it correctly and shortly signifies the Sanskrit word. So everyone will become mlechas. And when the end of the Yuga comes, the right hand will deceive the left, and the left the right, and men with false reputation of learning will contract truth, and the old will betray the senselessness of the young, and the young will betray the dotage of the old. And cowards will have the reputation of bravery, and the brave will be cheerless like cowards. And towards the end of the Yuga, men will cease to trust one another, and full of avarice and folly, the whole world will have but one kind of food. And sin will increase and prosper, while virtue will fade and cease to flourish. And Brahmanas and Kshatriyas and Vaishyas will disappear, leaving, O king, no remnants of their orders. And all men towards the end of the Yuga will become members of one common order without distinction of any kind. And sires will not forgive sons, and sons will not forgive sires. And when the end approaches, wives will not wait upon and serve their husbands. And at such time, men will seek those countries where wheat and barley form the staple food. And, O monarch, both men and women will become perfectly free in their behavior and will not tolerate one another's acts. And, O Yudhishthir, the whole world will be mlechified, and men will cease to gratify the gods by offerings of shraddhas, and no one will listen to the words of others, and no one will be regarded as a preceptor by another. And, ruler of men, intellectual darkness will envelop the whole earth, and the life of a man will then be measured by 16 years, on attaining to which death will ensue. And girls of 5 or 6 years of age will bring forth children, and boys of 7 or 8 years of age will become fathers. And, O tiger among men, when the end of the Yuga will come, the wife will never be content with her husband, nor the husband with his wife. And the possessions of men will never be much, and people will forcefully bear the marks of religion, and jealousy and malice will fill the world. And no one will at that time be a giver of wealth or anything else in respect to anyone else. And the inhabited regions of the earth will be afflicted with dearth and famine, and the highways will be filled with lustful men and women of evil repute. And at such a time, the women will also entertain an aversion towards their husbands, and without doubt, all men will adopt the behavior of the mlechas, becoming omnivorous without distinction and cruel in all their acts, when the end of the Yuga will come. And, O thou foremost of the Bharatas, urged by avarice, men will at that time deceive one another when they sell and purchase, and without knowledge of the ordinance, men will perform ceremonies and rites, and indeed behave as listeth them when the end of the Yuga comes. And when the end of the Yuga comes, urged by their very dispositions, men will act cruelly and speak ill of one another, and people will, without compunction, destroy trees and gardens, and men will be filled with anxiety as regards the means of living. And, O king, overwhelmed with covetousness, men will kill brahmanas and appropriate and enjoy the possessions of their victims. And the regenerate ones, oppressed by sudras and afflicted with fear and crying, oh and alas, will wander over the earth without anybody to protect them. And when men will begin to slay one another and become wicked and fierce and without any respect for animal life, then will the Yuga come to an end. And, O king, even the foremost of the regenerate ones afflicted by robbers will, like crows, fly in terror and with speed and seek refuge, O perpetuator of the Kuru race, in rivers and mountains and in inaccessible regions. And always oppressed by bad rulers with burdens of taxes, the foremost of the regenerate classes, O Lord of the earth, will, in those terrible times, take leave of all patience and do improper acts by becoming even the servants of Sudras. And Sudras will expound the scriptures, and Brahmanas will wait upon and listen to them and settle their course of duty, accepting such interpretations as their guides. And the low will become the high, and the course of things will look contrary. And renouncing the gods, men will worship bones and other relics deposited within walls. And at the end of the Yuga, the Sudras will cease to wait upon and serve the Brahmanas, and in the asylums of great rishis and the teachings institution of Brahmanas, and in places sacred to the gods and sacrificial compounds, and in sacred tanks, the earth will be disfigured with tombs and pillars containing bony relics, and not graced with temples dedicated to the gods. All this will take place at the end of the Yuga, and know that these are the signs of the end of the Yuga. And when men become fierce and destitute of virtue and carnivorous and addicted to intoxicating drinks, then doth the Yuga come to an end. And, O monarch, when flowers will be begot within flowers and fruits within fruits, then will the Yuga come to an end. And the clouds will pour rain unseasonably when the end of the Yuga approaches. And at that time, ceremonial rites of men will not follow one another in due order, and the Sudras will quarrel with the Brahmanas, and the earth will soon be full of mlechas, and the Brahmanas will fly in all directions for fear of the burden of taxes, and all distinctions between men will cease as regards conduct and behavior, and afflicted with honorary tasks and offices, people will fly to woody retreats, subsisting on fruits and roots. The world will be so afflicted that rectitude of conduct will cease to be exhibited anywhere, and disciples will set at naught the instructions of preceptors and seek even to injure them. And preceptors impoverished will be disregarded by men, and friends and relatives and kinsmen will perform friendly offices for the sake of wealth only that is possessed by a person. And when the end of the Yuga comes, everyone will be in want, and all the points of the horizon will be ablaze, and the stars and stellar groups will be destitute of brilliancy, and the planets and planetary conjunctions will be inauspicious, and the course of the winds will be confused and agitated, and innumerable meteors will flash through the sky, foreboding evil. And the sun will appear with 6 others of the same kind. And all around there will be din and uproar, and everywhere there will be conflagrations. And the sun from the hour of his rising to that of setting will be enveloped by Rahu. And the deity of 1,000 eyes will shower rain unseasonably. And when the end of the Yuga comes, crops will not grow in abundance, and the women will always be sharp in speech and pitiless and fond of weeping. And they will never abide by the commands of their husbands. And when the end of the Yuga comes, sons will slay fathers and mothers, and women living uncontrolled will slay their husbands and sons. And, O king, when the end of the Yuga comes, Rahu will swallow the sun unseasonably, and fires will blaze up on all sides. And travelers unable to obtain food and drink and shelter, even when they ask for these, will lie down on the wayside, refraining from urging their solicitations. And when the end of the Yuga comes, crows and snakes and vultures and kites and other animals and birds will utter frightful and dissonant cries. And when the end of the Yuga comes, men will cast away and neglect their friends and relatives and attendants. And, O monarch, when the end of the Yuga comes, men abandoning the countries and directions and towns and cities of their occupation will seek for new ones one after another, and people will wander over the earth uttering, O Father, O Son, and such other frightful and rending cries. And when those terrible times will be over, the creation will begin anew, and men will again be created and distributed into the 4 orders, beginning with Brahmanas. And about that time, in order that men may increase, Providence, according to its pleasure, will once more become propitious. And then when the sun, the moon, and Brihaspati will, with the constellation Pusha, footnote, Pusha is the 8th lunar asterism, consisting of 3 stars, of which one is the Cancer. Okay. And about that time, in order that men may increase, Providence, according to its pleasure, will once more become propitious, and when the sun, the moon, and Brihaspati will, with the constellation Pusha, enter the same sign, the Krita age will begin again, and the clouds will commence to shower seasonably, and the stars and stellar conjunctions will become auspicious, and the planets duly revolving in their orbits will become exceedingly propitious, and all around there will be prosperity and abundance and health and peace. And commissioned by time, a Brahmana of the name of Kalki will take his birth, and he will glorify Vishnu and possess great energy, great intelligence, and great prowess. And he will take his birth in the town of the name Shambhala, in an auspicious Brahmana family. And vehicles and weapons and warriors and arms and coats of mail will be at his disposal as soon as he will think of them. And he will be the King of Kings and ever victorious with the strength of virtue. And he will restore order and peace in this world, crowded with creatures and contradictory in its course. And that blazing Brahmana of mighty intellect, having appeared, will destroy all things. And he will be the destroyer of all, and will inaugurate a new Yuga. And surrounded by the Brahmanas, that Brahmana will exterminate all the mlechas, wherever those low and despicable persons may take refuge. And that's the end of that.
Now for the weather. Prophetic. Very
Hare
prophetic,
Krishna.
Mark.
It's
Mark
heavy,
and
isn't
Dea.
it? It's
Wow,
heavy.
wow.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
Pranam.
Chapter 486. Markandeya said, after exterminating the Rakshasas, he will hand over the earth to the Brahmanas at a great horse sacrifice. Having established the sacred limits decreed by the self-creating one, the performer of holy and famous deeds will retire to the forest when he attains old age. The men who live in the world will follow his good conduct. When thieves and Rakshasas have been exterminated by the Brahmanas, there will be safety again. When all the countries have been conquered, that tiger among Brahmanas will establish black antelope skins, spears and tridents and other weapons there. He will be praised by the Indras among Brahmanas and will honor them in return. Kalki, supreme among Brahmanas, will roam around the earth always engaged in the killing of Dashus. Dashus are outcast bandits, evil demons, and the enemies of gods and men. When he exterminates Dashus, terrible lamentation of alas, father, and alas, son will be heard. O descendant of the Bharata lineage, when Krita has arrived, Adharma will thus be destroyed, and Dharma will flourish. People will always follow rituals. There will be groves, sanctuaries, large ponds, temples, and many sacrifices and rituals on the arrival of Krita Yuga. Brahmanas will be righteous and hermits will be ascetics. Hermitages earlier occupied by wretches will have subjects engaged in truth. All the seeds sown will begin to grow. O Indra among kings, every crop will grow in every season. Men will be devoted to donations, vows, and rites. Brahmanas will happily be engaged in meditation and sacrifices and will desire dharma. Kings will govern the earth in accordance with the principles of dharma. In Krita Yuga, Vaishyas will be engaged in trade, Brahmanas in their 6 tasks, and Kshatriyas in offering protection. Shudras will devote themselves to servitude to the three Varnas. This will be the nature of Dharma in Krita Yuga, Treta, and Dwapara. And in the last period of the Yuga, I have recounted this to you, O Pandava. The numbers of the Yugas are known to all the worlds. Thus have I told you everything about the past and the future, as I remember it. This is the Purana recounted by Vayu, lauded by the Rishis. Though I am immortal, I have witnessed and experienced many courses of life in this world. I have told you about them. O one without decay, now with your brothers, listen to these other words of mine. They will free you from your doubts about Dharma. O supreme among those who uphold Dharma, always unite your soul with Dharma. O king, those who have Dharma in their soul enjoy bliss here and in their thereafter, and here and in the hereafter. O unblemished one, listen to the auspicious words that I will now tell you. In the course of your acts, you should never oppress a Brahmana. If angered, a Brahmana can destroy the world through his oaths. Vaishampayana said, having heard Markandeya's words, the king, supreme among Kurus, replied in these words to the immensely wise and immensely radiant one. O sage, if I wish to protect my subjects, what dharma should I follow? How should I act so that I do not deviate from my own dharma? Markandeya replied, be compassionate towards all beings and try to ensure their welfare, without hatred. Be engaged in the protection of your subjects as if they are your own children. Practice dharma and avoid adharma. Worship the ancestors and the gods. If you act out of ignorance, neutralize it by offering the right donations. Discard vanity and always be humble. Conquer the entire earth and remain in joy and happiness. This is dharma as it was and as it will be. There is nothing in the past or the future that is not known to you. O son, therefore, do not suffer because of your present misfortune. O mighty armed one, destiny is superior to all of the gods too. Prodded by destiny, all beings are afflicted. O unblemished one, Do not have any doubts about what I have told you. If you doubt my words, your dharma will be destroyed. O bull among the Bharata lineage, you have been born in the famous lineage of the Kurus. You should practice everything in deed, thought, and speech. Yudhishthira said, O best of Brahmanas, the words that you have uttered are pleasant to hear. O Lord, I will endeavor to act according to your instructions. O Indra among Brahmanas, I have no greed, no fear, and no envy. O Lord, I will do everything that you have told me. Vaishampayana said, O king, having heard the words of the great soul Pandava, all the Pandavas together with the wielder of the Sharanga bow were delighted. Having heard the words of the intelligent Markandeya about the ancient accounts, they were struck with great wonder. 487. Vaishampayana said, Pandava then spoke to Markandeya, Tell me about the greatness of Brahmanas. Markandeya replied, There was a king in Ayodhya from the Ikshvaku lineage. His name was Parikshit, and he went out hunting. Pursuing a deer alone on a horse, he traveled a long distance. On the way, he became exhausted, hungry, and thirsty. In that part of the country, he saw a dark and dense cluster of trees. He entered the cluster of trees and in the middle saw an extremely beautiful pond. He and his horse bathed there. He flung some lotus stalks in front of the horse. Then, refreshed, he sat down on the banks of the pond. While he was lying there, he heard the sweet sound of singing. On hearing this, he began to wonder, I do not see the marks of any humans here. What singing is this, then? He then saw an extremely beautiful maiden, worthy of looking at. She was picking flowers and singing and wandered around to where the king was. The king said, O fortunate one, whose are you? The maiden replied, I am a virgin. The king said, I wish that you should be mine. The maiden replied, I can only be yours if you take an oath. The king wanted to know what the condition was, and the maiden replied, You must never show me water. The king agreed to these words, and having agreed, won her and sat down with her. While the king was thus seated, his soldiers arrived there. They had followed his footsteps. On seeing the king, they established themselves around him. Having fully recovered, the king mounted a palanquin with her and returned to his city. He pleasured there with her privately, out of sight of anyone. The prime minister then asked the woman who waited on the king, What is happening? The woman replied, We have seen something that we have not seen before. No water is brought here. Having heard this, the minister constructed a grove. It had beautiful trees with many roots, flowers, and fruits, but it had no water. He went to the king in private and said, There is a beautiful grove without any water. Pleasure yourself happily there. On hearing these words, the king entered the grove with the queen. One day he was roaming in that wonderful grove with his beloved and became exhausted, hungry, and thirsty. He saw a wonderful cluster of atimuktas, a kind of creeper that wraps itself around mango trees, known as Madhavi, Kushari, or Kastura Mogara. On entering it with his beloved, the king saw a pond with clear water, covered by the creepers. As soon as he saw it, he sat down on its banks with his queen. The king told the queen, Let us descend into the water of this pond. On hearing these words, she got down and immersed herself in the pond. But she did not surface again. The king searched for her, but could not find her. He had the water taken out and found a frog seated near the mouth of a hole. The angry king passed an order, Kill all frogs. Whoever wishes to see me has to come with a dead frog as a tribute. When this terrible destruction of the frogs continued, all the frightened frogs went to the king of the frogs and told him what was happening. Then the king of the frogs adopted the disguise of an ascetic and went to the king. Having approached, he said, O king, do not be overcome by anger. Have mercy and do not destroy the innocent frogs. There are two shlokas on this. Do not wish to kill all frogs, O unblemished one. Control your anger. People who are ignorant destroy their extensive prosperity. Promise that when you meet them, you will control your wrath. Why must you continue with this adharma? What purpose will dead frogs serve? But the king's soul was overcome with grief for his beloved, and he told the frog, I cannot forgive. I will kill those evil souled ones who have devoured my beloved. The frogs deserve to be killed by me. O learned one, do not try to obstruct me. On hearing these words, his senses and mind were pained, and he replied, O king, show mercy. I am the king of the frogs, and my name is Ayu. She was my daughter named Sushobhana. She has this bad character, and she has deceived many kings earlier. The king replied, I desire her, give her to me. The father bestowed her on the king with the words, serve the king. He also told his daughter, since you have deceived many kings and have committed falsehood, your sons will be the haters of Brahmanas. Having obtained her, the king's heart was set on the pleasures of making love. It was as if he had won the wealth of the three worlds. He prostrated himself before the king of the frogs, and in a voice choking with tears of joy said, you have favored me a lot. Having bid farewell to his son-in-law, the king of frogs went away to where he had come from. After some time, the king had three sons through her. Their names were Shala, Dala, and Bala. After some time, since his soul was set on austerities, the king instated the eldest Shala on the throne and left for the forest. One day, Shala went out hunting. He saw a deer and pursued it on his chariot. He told the charioteer, drive me faster. The charioteer replied to the king, do not insist on this course of action. You would have been able to catch the deer only if Vamya horses had been yoked to the chariot. The king then told the charioteer, tell me about Vamya horses, otherwise I will kill you. Having been thus addressed by the king, he was frightened of the king's anger, as well as of Vamadev's curse, and said, Vamya horses are those that belong to Vamadev. They are swift they are as swift as the mind. Sorry, they are as swift as the mind. On hearing this, the king told him, go to Vamadev's hermitage. Having gone to Vamadev's hermitage, he told the rishi, O illustrious one, I pierced a deer and it has run away. You should give me a couple of Vamya horses so that I can catch it. The rishi replied, I will give you the Vamyas, but when you have finished, you must return them immediately. Having accepted the horses and having taken the rishi's permission, he yoked the Vamya horses to his chariot and pursued the deer. But when he was traveling, he told the charioteer, these horses are gems. They do not deserve to be possessed by a Brahmana. I am not going to return them to Vamadev. Having thus spoken, he caught the deer. He returned to his city and lodged the horses in the inner quarters of the palace. The rishi thought, this prince is young. Having obtained these excellent horses, he is enjoying them. He will not return them to me. What a nuisance. Having thought this, when a month had passed, he told his disciple, O Atreya, go to the king and tell him that if he is through with the horses, he should return the Vamyas to your preceptor. He went and told the king, but the king replied, these horses deserve to be possessed by kings. Brahmanas do not deserve such gems. What will Brahmanas do with horses? Return. Returning, he told this to the preceptor. On hearing these unpleasant words, Vamadev was filled with anger. He himself went to the king and asked for his horses, but the king refused. Vamadev said, O king, return the Vamya horses to me. You have undertaken a deed that others cannot accomplish. Varuna will kill you with his terrible news. You are trying to create a split between Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. The king replied, O Vamadev, these two bulls have been trained well and are docile. They are the appropriate mount for a Brahmana. O Maharishi, take them and go wherever you want. The chants themselves bear someone like you. Vamadev said, O king, the chance indeed bears someone like me, but that is in the next world. O king, in this world, these are my mounts, and for others who are like me. The king replied, Then let 4 donkeys bear you. They are excellent. Or there are fleet horses. Or there are fleet horses. Use those. But these Vamyas deserve to be possessed by a Kshatriya like me. Behold, they cannot belong to you. Vamadev said, It has been said that the Brahmana's vow is terrible. O king, if I have lived by such vows, then terrible giants with bodies made of iron and holding sharp spears will slice you into 4 parts. The king replied, O Vamadev, let those who bear sharp spears know that you, a Brahmana, are willing to kill in speech, thought, and deeds. On my instructions, let them kill you with your disciple. Vamadev said, O king, a Brahmana can never be chastised in speech, thought, or deeds. But one who is learned in the Brahman and has practiced austerities can prove superior to the best in the world. O king, when Vamadev spoke these words, Rakshasas arose, terrible in form. With raised spears they rushed towards the king, so as to kill him. In a loud voice he cried out, O Brahmana, even if all the Ikshvakus, Dala, and the Vaishyas who are ruled by me tell me, I will not give up the Vamyas. O Vamadev, they are not ones who follow Dharma. While he was still speaking, the Yatudhanas struck the Lord of the earth, and he fell down on the ground. On learning that the king had been killed, the Ikshvakus instated Dala on the throne. Brahmana Vamadev then went to the kingdom and spoke these words to King Dala. O king, it has been said in all Dharma that gifts must be given to Brahmanas. O Indra among kings, if you fear to transgress Dharma, immediately give the Vamyas to me. Having heard these words of Vamadev, the king was angered and spoke to his charioteer. Bring me one of those beautiful and poisonous arrows that have been carefully kept. Pierced by it, Vamadev will lie down prone on the ground in pain, and dogs will tear him apart. Vamadev said, I know that you have a son who is 10 years old, O Indra among kings. He has been born from your queen Shyenajit. Urged by my words, you will soon kill that beloved son with your terrible arrows. O king, thus instructed by Vamadev, that arrow fiery in power killed the prince in the inner quarters of the palace, as soon as it had been released by Dala. On hearing this, the king said, O Ikshvakus, I will perform a pleasant task for you. I will kill this Brahmana today. Bring me another of my fiery arrows. O Lord of the earth, witness my valor now. Vamadev replied, O Indra among men, this is a terrible and poisonous arrow. You have aimed it at me, but you will not be able to aim or shoot. The king said, O Ikshvakus, behold, I am unable to release the arrow that I have grasped. I will not be able to perform the task of killing him. Let Vamadev live, and may he have a long life. Vamadev said, Touch the queen with this arrow, and you will be freed from your sin. The king did as he had been asked to, and the princess spoke to the sage, O Vamadev, O Brahmana, if I have honored my husband and have lain down with him day after day, let me be able to serve Brahmanas and attain the sacred worlds after death. Vamadev said, O one with the beautiful eyes, you have saved the king's lineage. Ask for an unequaled boon, and I will give it to you. O princess, O unblemished one, rule over your relatives and this extensive kingdom of the Ikshvakus. The princess said, O illustrious one, I ask for the boon that my husband should now be freed from his sin. May you bless him with his sons and relatives. O foremost among Brahmanas, this is the boon that I want. On hearing the princess's words, the sage said that it would be that way. At that, the king was extremely happy. He bowed in obeisance and returned the Vamyas. Yes, and I think we'll stop here tonight.
See, Matura, you still couldn't get it right.
Matura,
No, the equitable distribution.
What?
you want to stop the recording?
Okay. TK.